Hi, it's Emily. I'm excited to review some more Halloween books for the month of October 2020. But first, before I do my review, I want to give you a little sneak peek of the videos that will be showing up as reviews on my Facebook channel or Facebook page, should I say, Children's Literature Training Academy, this coming Tuesday night. And I did post another video as well about my upcoming Facebook page, so check that out. But what I'm going to be reviewing on my Facebook page only will be this one. Welcome to Holiday Inn. Holiday Inn by James Howe. Adorable. I'm super excited about this book, and he wrote a ton of books, horror books for children, so keep tuned for that. Here's a close-up of this cover. And the other one is for older kids, which is an absolutely terrifying, in a way, book, which is a crossover of sort of magic, horror, terror, and gothic elements, which is The Charmed Children of Rookskill Castle. And I am still, see how big this book is, so I'm not quite done with it yet. So this will be a Tuesday review. There's some brilliant writing in this book, so you're not going to want to miss me talking about that review. So let's talk about the two that I am reviewing in this video, which is Short and Shivery and Pleasing the Ghost. Okay, so we're talking about these two. We can start by the one by Sharon Creech. This is called Pleasing the Ghost. And if you're aware of Sharon Creech, she won the award for Walk Two Moons. I think she won several awards. She has over a dozen children's books. Walk Two Moons was the one she got the award for. This is just a short, really short little novel. It says ages 8 and up, more like a story. And let me read you the back. A ghostly visitor. Ever since 9-year-old Dennis's dad died, a veritable parade of ghosts has been passing through his bedroom. When the ghost of his Uncle Arvy blows into his room on a warm breeze, Dennis isn't surprised, but Uncle Arvy is the first ghost who wants something from Dennis. Dennis would love to help Uncle Arvy, but he can't quite understand what Uncle Arvy is asking for. For example, he uses all kinds of strange language because he had had a stroke right before he died, and that's how he was speaking before he died. Dennis has to find out because this is one ghost who isn't going to leave until he gets what he came for. And so as an adult reader, I believe that Sharon Creech is an incredibly good writer, Pleasing the Ghost, but I didn't particularly care for the story because of the uncle, the ghost that comes back. Well, okay, the bottom line of the story is the little boy's father died, and he has a consistent hope that he's going to see the ghost of his dad, even though he can see all these other ghosts that come through his house and want things from him. All he wants is to see his dad one more time, to talk to the ghost of his dad. So it's kind of a story of hope and showing the importance of hope, and it has a fairly, pleasing, satisfying ending. I'm not going to blow it, but so this book does have, the only illustrations are in the chapter headings, if you can see that. The writing is fairly basic. I didn't particularly care for it because of the fact that of the ghost that had the stroke, which is his uncle that comes back. He uses all this gobbledygook language and you have no clue what it means. And so he's having these full conversations with his ghost uncle. And I had to scan just to read the lines that the boy was talking about, because, it was all just, I didn't care for it myself, like the Uncle Arvy size, pin heart foot, he says all these weird phrases that you have no clue what it means, and the boy doesn't know either, and I found that really frustrating. So as an adult reader, but this is a really cute, short, fast ghost story for a kid, probably I would say ages 6 to 9, really fast read. Poor lighting in here today. The other one I wanted to cover is Short and Shivery 30 Chilling Tales. This book was way more fun. When I first picked it up, I thought it was going to be particularly about one, Short and Shivery, I thought was the title, like it was going to be a novel, but it turns out that it was literally 30 different tales. Chills and thrills to make your flesh crawl with fear. Turn the lights down low and grab your favorite reading chair, but first you'd better check behind you. Ghosts, monsters, murderers, and madmen. These 30 stories have been collected for your reading displeasure, I thought that was funny, from all over the globe, and represent the world's best scary stories and frightening folk tales by famous authors such as Washington Irving and the Brothers Grimm. Welcome to a chilling world of hair-raising tales, which is exactly what this is. And so some of the stories you see in here, and they are fairly short, We have Russian folk tales. There was some United States folk tales, Welsh folk tales, English folk tales, some retellings from the Brothers Grimm. There's a Japan folk tale, New England, a Native American legend, one from New Mexico. And I'll say that these are pretty grotesque. For example, the last one I read when I finished this last night was called the Halloween Pony, and it does have one image, but this story was about 4 children that got on a pony, and the pony rode them right into the ocean and drowned them. So it literally ends with some say the children were drowned, some say the goblin pony carried them to a strange city of coral and pearl at the bottom of the sea, but they were never seen on dry land again. So every story ends with some kind of terrible tragedy. It really does. There's a shortened down version of the Robber Bridegroom by the Brothers Grimm, which was fairly good, and Jack Frost, which is really technically a Russian folktale, and Jack Frost even ends. Here's the ending of Jack Frost. To her horror, when the woman pulled back the last fur, she saw her daughter lying there, a cold corpse. Silver snowflakes frosted her eyelashes, and ice like diamond chips beaded her lips where her last breath had frozen. So every story in this book is, I have no idea why my camera's freaking out today, but cutting out. But the short and shivery, so it's by Robert Souci, and retold by Robert Souci. But I really enjoyed this, and each one is really short, and there actually are some decent illustrations in here. You can see it has one little illustration. I think most stories have, like every other story has an illustration. There was a really terrifying story in here about a werewolf, and so it says here ages 8 to 12, which I would agree with, but as an adult, I enjoyed reading this as well. So here are my recommendations, or one partial recommendation. It's hard for me to recommend. One thing I teach in my children's literature class is there's a big difference between literature and kids' books. And so what constitutes or qualifies as literature as far as what criteria and what constitutes as just a kid's book, there's a whole, learning field around that area. So between Short and Shivery and Pleasing the Ghost, though, if you have young kids that want a quick, cute ghost story full of hope, I would definitely recommend for a young kid for 2nd grade, Pleasing the Ghost, Short and Shivery. For anybody, that was really fun. And I am moving on now to one that I really enjoyed, which I will do in the next video. Thanks everybody for watching.